Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Well, as expected, another entertaining interview of Jarrell "Big Baby" Miller. Again, conducted by Box Nation, the same person who conducted the earlier interview of Fabio Wardley. Though interestingly, the interviewer did not ask Big Baby any questions about PED use. I wonder why. Anyways, Big Baby, who said at one point during the interview that trash talking is an art, and in that respect, he is correct. As you know, I do not really like trash talking, but I appreciate it when it's well done. And Big Baby does it very well. So even though it's something I don't like, I do appreciate it in, from the mouths of certain people. When he was asked about Fabio Wardley, he said he can't do shit to me. Nobody knows him. Now, of course, you have to remember that he's saying this in the UK for a UK audience. He's portraying himself as the villain. That's his role here, okay? Fabio's the white hat, he's the black hat. And I saw in the comments on the Box Nation interview, a lot of undoubtedly British fans were getting mad at him. That's the idea, okay? So I think we've got a more mature subscription base on this channel. But some of the people are getting quite agitated. And that's what he wants to do, right? He said nobody knows Fabio Wardley. And actually, in that respect, he is not entirely mistaken. Here, for example, there's a boxing club in each of the towns near me. And I've mentioned the names of a number of British boxers, blank faces. Tyson Fury is well known. AJ would be second. Fabio Wardley would not be well known, even though he's exceptionally well known in Britain, of course, amongst boxing fans, right? And he's had a lot of worldwide exposure in, for example, Riyadh season. But he's not super well known and not well known in North America. But that's not the point. The point is that Fabio Wardley is being trashed by Jarrell Miller, who is portraying himself as the bad guy, to get the kind of reactions you will read in the comments section. Maybe we'll see them on this channel as well. Big Baby said that Frank brought me out to make a name for him. I'm going to ruin that. And when the interviewer asked, well, what do you think of his career so far? Because Fabio's had a good career so far, right? I mean, as you know, I am a Fabio fan. And he said, the whole resume is a bunch of bullshit. Only 2 names on it. Adelaide, and then he struggled. Either he didn't remember or he was waiting to be prompted, because the interviewer said, you mean Fraser Clark? And he said, yeah, big wussy guy. Looks like a punk. It's just, it was funny. It was a well-delivered line. He said, everybody on his resume is a journeyman, not top-notch. He's puny. So that's really what he thinks of Fabio. When he was asked about, are you concerned about hometown? He was not remotely concerned, all that sort of stuff. He said, nobody outside of Manchester knows him, even though, of course, Fabio is actually not from Manchester. But he said that Frank Bourne was trying to get Fabio to graduate. So, he reckons that Dubois graduated after beating Jarrell Miller. He said, I'm not a gatekeeper. There was a lot of cuss words in, like his delivery is flavorful, shall we say. He said that Dubois has a better jab than Fabio Wardley. Andy Ruiz hits harder than Fabio Wardley and has faster hands than Fabio Wardley. I would say that Andy Ruiz probably has very fast hands. I'm not sure if he hits harder. I mean, that's something we'd have to ask Fraser Clark, I suppose. Big Baby said that Fabio better run. If he goes toe-to-toe, he will die. Which, we'll have to see on that, won't we? Then he was asked some other questions about other big names in the heavyweight division. In no particular order, he said that AJ is no warrior. He's got no heart. Softer than baby shit. Said he came to North America, got knocked out, never came back. He doesn't have a Hall of Fame resume. He said that, basically nobody other than Fury or Dubois is on the horizon for AJ. In other words, AJ should fight him, but he doesn't think he will. He said AJ says he wants to fight, but his training team doesn't allow him to, and all that sort of stuff. He was asked about some bad blood with Deontay Wilder, and he gave what might be the best answer in the entire interview, because the interviewer asked him very straight-laced, what's the genesis of the dispute between you and Deontay Wilder? And Big Baby said one word: vagina. And then went on to explain about how Deontay Wilder got himself associated with this female. Everybody thought the female was not up to standard, that there was no need for Deontay Wilder to make a significant commitment to this female. Even his cousins were telling him that. And he said that some people, when they see something fresh, they have to have it. I won't bother to get into the detail, but basically he was somewhat dismissive of Deontay Wilder's taste in females. And that's where the genesis of the bad blood between himself and Deontay is. He was talking about warrior spirit a little bit and claiming that AJ doesn't have it. And then he mentioned some people that do have it. Shannon Briggs and Derek Chisora. He said that Derek Chisora really is a nut, and that he goes and he has boxing for therapy, which I think we probably kind of knew. And this was in context of being asked about TKV and Adelaide and the throwing of the tables. He was dismissive of that. He said that, that wasn't real. He said that, for example, even though they've got these really big security guards, if he wanted to get at Fabio, he would. There would be kneecaps broken, shin bones broken. He's not going to be stopped. If he loses it, he would lose it. And that this TKV thing was fake beef. He didn't use the expression fake beef. That's my expression. On that, he's not wrong. But it was entertaining, and like I say, it was on the Box Nation YouTube channel. It's a harbinger of things to come. I suspect that this will be one of the more entertaining build-ups. Fabio Wardley is certainly no shy, retiring wallflower, so I suspect that in this regard, he's going to give as good as he gets. And hopefully in the ring, he will give as good as he gets, because as you know, I'm very keen on Fabio. I would like Fabio to win. I would like Fabio to bounce Big Baby off the canvas a few times, to be perfectly honest with you. However, I am not blind to the fact that it is a big ask. Big Baby Miller is no easy touch, and it could be a difficult night for Fabio, but fingers crossed. Let's hope it all goes ahead as planned. It's 2 months. I guess it'll be 2 months on Monday, right? So it should be entertaining, and like I say, I suspect we'll see quite a few more of these interviews that will be worth commenting upon. Certainly more entertaining than a lot of the egg gate and such things we've seen. I think this one will actually be worth listening into. Maybe not everyone, but here and there. Okay, if you like, please like. If you share. But most importantly, can you please subscribe? That would be awesome. And have a fabulous day. I will see you tomorrow. I'm not sure if I mentioned on a previous video or not, but hopefully I'll have James back on tomorrow, and you can listen to us to talk about the fights of today and just generally have a good laugh. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.